Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our channel. The name of the Attorney General of the Federation, that's AGF Malami Abubakar Malami, has been called over what happened to Justice Mary Odili, and he have decided also to respond. They called upon his name, they called upon his office, the name of his office, and he has decided to clear the air. In Nigeria, whatever happens, there's always a case of denial. But the good thing about this whole thing is the fact that there have been evidences of someone who claimed that he is the whistleblower, one Omar. We're going to give you full details of what the Nigerian Attorney General has got to say. But before we do so, like and subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button. Beside it, you see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. Nigeria's Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami, Senior Advocate of Nigeria (SAN), has denied authoring or playing a role in a raid carried out on Supreme Court Justice Mary Odili's home. In a statement sent on Saturday, signed by his media aide, Omar Aguado, the AGF expressly stated that he was not in any way connected with the fabrications and concocted lies linking him to the ensued imbroglio relating to news stories about the residence of a Justice of the Supreme Court, Justice Mary Odili. He stated that the clarification to debunk this mischievous publication became imperative in view of the media hype and the dimension the story is taking. It is important to set the record straight that as the Chief Law Officer of the Federation, Malami will not stoop too low to be associated with an apparent inelegant and nasty court process on the strength of which the purported search warrant was procured. The media reports on the issue depicts to untidy process that could never emanate from the office of the Honorable Attorney General of the Federation and the Minister of Justice. The general public needs to know that there was nothing called joint panel recovery under the Ministry of Justice in the office of the Attorney General of the Federation and the Minister of Justice, and by extension, the entire Federal Ministry of Justice. What we have is Inter-Ministerial Committee on Asset Recovery, the mandate of which does not include stings operations. Numerous incongruities in the documents being circulated in relation to the saga reveals traces of criminal actions which particularly regards to 1. The name as contained on the purported letter-headed paper. I'll take that again. 1. The name as contained on the purported letter-headed paper, Ghost Account for Local Whistleblowers and Asset Tax Recovery Panel. 2. The ambiguous reference to Ministry of Justice without clarifying as to whether it is federal or state ministry of which state. 3. The claimed office address, which as revealed by the letter-headed paper is not the address of the Federal Ministry of Justice. 4. Email address used on the letter. All these deductions would have assisted a discerning mind to arrive at a reasonable conclusion of criminal undertones associated with the court process on the basis of which the purported search warrant was procured. The Office of the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice has since reached out to the relevant authorities for an intensified wider investigation on the matter for necessary actions leading to prosecution of anyone involved in the matter in view of the fact that the only names on record from the process filed in court are a purported officer who claimed to be OC Asset Recovery Team and one Aliu Omar, a deponent in the affidavit. The claim of the Chief Magistrate, as reported by a section of the media, to the effect that he was being misled by Office of the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice into the issuance of the search warrant is equally forwarded to the relevant investigation agencies to ascertain veracity or otherwise of the purported association of the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, and which officer, if any, in the office of the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice is associated with such claimed misrepresentation. Nigeria, sha. everything. Does it mean that even you can just imagine people having mind? Look at what is happening. There's a letter, and it's kind of letter-headed. Now we are hearing that the letter-headed is fake. It is now we are shouting fraudulent for even in things like the justices, and we are hearing things like this. But look, we need to change everything in Nigeria. Nigeria needs total changing. Internal fraud, internal corruption is so high. There's no fear again on the law. How can you use data-headed papers that are not correct and you have the mind to send it forward, and for the courts to say they were misled? They must have thought the letter-headed is coming from a particular section and they follow suit. And being the fact that there was a name implied, one Omar Aliu, which means there's something really happening. I honestly pray that this particular case will not be swept under the carpet, since the Attorney General himself have said it didn't come from him and he doesn't believe it came from his office, that they should investigate. Please let this not look like the other cases we usually hear. Please, they shouldn't sweep this under the carpet. They should find to get to the conclusion of this matter, so that whoever it is that signed on behalf of anybody and the person is not even aware, the person should be dealt with, so that others will not follow suit. The level of corruption in this country is worth crying to the Lord for. But let's feel the pulse of Nigerians, because Nigerians are really talking. In no particular order, this one here is saying they want to bring her down because she's Igbo and doesn't serve them but the government. This one here is saying, so who did it? Nigerians are not asking, so who did it? Because somebody has given the order. And somebody used the letter-headed paper. Now, the letter-headed paper, everything is now looking as if. But one thing is certain, there was a warrant. And now the people, the issuing officers are saying they were deceived to believe it's coming from a particular office. So, which means truly there was a search warrant and there was a searching. My God. This one here is saying, overzealous judge and officers in trouble. This must not be swept under the carpet. That's exactly what I said. This must not. They have to. Whoever that did it should be brought to book. So that, please, if this level of corruption gets to the level of Chief Justice, the Justice of a Supreme Court Justice, then honestly we should be worried. We should then, if the Supreme Court Justice cannot find justice in this whole matter, then will a common man like you and I get justice? Because if they sweep it under the carpet and no justice, and justice is not meted on those who punitive punishment measures are not given to those who have the guts and therefore the temerity to do this, then the common man should start getting scared. Please, for the sanctity and sake of equity and justice, whoever that did this should be brought to book. That's what we're going to wrap it up. Let's meet in our conversation.